Let's take a look at these map bans, though. See where we're going for our last game of the evening. EXG.
To a library.
Hmm?
To a library.
A library?
Yes, to learn some references.
Club and Villa gone off rip. Coast and Bank ban, so Border.
Oh.
Okay. I'm good with that. It's a pretty even map for both of them, honestly.
Yeah. Let me actually check some of the history of the two. Now, last time these two played, it was 7-3, and Rogue won that. They played on Consulate. 4 rounds in defense for Rogue, 2 on attack, then 1 on defense for EXG. 3 rounds on attack, obviously, for Rogue at that point. So, yeah, I mean, EXG, who were they able to defeat? Now, this is a Week 7 game because for some reason 7 and 8 were mirrored. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
But EXG won what looks like only 2 games, which is actually not bad because they beat Rise, they beat Orglis, right, the bottom 2, which saved them from the bottom 2 positions. Orglis are no longer here, but, you know, they lost 7-4 to SSG. They lost 7-4 to Dark Zero, which is pretty impressive, actually. They got wiped off by EG and Reciprocity, 7-1 and 7-2 respectively. But, you know, Rogue, even though we're given a bit of a hard time every now and then, 7-3 in their matchup. So it's out there. There's definitely the possibility. But in terms of this very specific map, I can't really find anything about it. Yeah, and they never played it so far in this season. Accelerate, that is.
That's interesting because while they mainly focused on a map like Bank and a map like Consulate in Season 8 of Challenger League, considering I casted them in Season 8 of Challenger League before they came up here to Pro League, Border was also one of their better maps, if I remember correctly, from Challenger League. I don't have the stats on me, and I don't have the research done back to their Challenger League days just offhand, but I remember them putting up pretty good fights against at least Elephant Gang on Border last season in Challenger League. So I imagine this will be a back-and-forth game still. I don't really picture Border going decisively one way or another. The most recent Rogue game I can remember on Border, though, would be the game against SSG in Week 6, I believe.
Week 5, but yes, you're pretty close.
The 5-1, then 5-1.
Yeah, it was a 5-1 for Rogue, or 5 rounds on attack, and then it just switched around. So it ended up in a 6-6 tie between the two teams. It was Border again, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
The bans were Jackal Maestro for Rogue, and you go for Thermite and Mira on the opposite side for SSG. Whereas, actually, Rogue played this map twice. The first time was Week 3 against DG in the round where, well, one round they kind of got for free.
Yeah, kind of free, kind of not free, kind of.
So 7-3, 7-2, however you want to play it. I
mean, Troy will definitely say 7-2 until the day he dies.
But, you know, there you go. It was Blackbeard Maestro banned by Rogue, Dokkaebi and Echo banned by EG. And that was,
a game that was not close.
That was a barn burner. EG had control throughout the whole game, pretty much. So.
Well, yeah, because it was Rogue that went up technically 2-0 in that game, because they're already up 1-0. Then that rehost shenanigans happened, and then EG got a little upset.
Yeah, and you don't upset Canadian.
So it seems like Rogue have a propensity to be susceptible to very momentous comebacks on Border, or just huge runs against them on Border.
That's a very loaded sentence there. Fairly eloquent of you, my dear friend.
I try.
Yes.
Isn't that why they brought me here?
Yes.
Because I can say, you know, one-off sentences that sound like I know what I'm talking about.
I can make a joke here, but I don't want to be too harsh.
Come on. I've been mean to Parker all night. At least got to lay it on me.
We'll leave it for later. Schlonge here on the Jaeger looking down the window, and so far, just a bit of a tracking done by Vertical on the Jackal, but he hasn't really been able to find anyone just yet. Eclipse is going to try to stun lock the players from the back and destroy their utility. Tomas is still in here, but nobody's pushing him. And he's got Nitro Cell already. What? Where did he use the Nitro Cell? There you go. This is what you do. You stun lock the bandit. Now he can't do anything. And the wall's been open, and they can't even catch off the bandit. No, he rotates away, and nobody's holding the angle. Now he's been spotted and locked down by Vertical. But it's good. A good start for Rogue. Not wasting too much time here to get the opener, but they still have to enter the office. And Eclipse and the team are already setting up their rotation hold drones. And all they have to do is cycle through them, and I'll have all the info in the world.
still got to worry about Achieve, because Achieved on Pulse is a very scary prospect. If anyone remembers back in the day from watching Challenger League, or if you've ever seen Achieve play anything with a Nitro Cell, to be gosh darn honest,
yes,
it's a scary sight, and he's been monstrous with it through Challenger League and in Pro League, and he's still protected downstairs, although Thomas will be the first to fall, although we noted that that Nitro Cell had already been taken care of, but only a minute remains, and here comes Eclipse downstairs, firing errantly through the wall. He'll actually a down off Achieve. The cover from Schlongy not effective enough, and the Jackal pings as well. The rotting corpse left of Achieve will actually be revived to 20 HP. No one picking up the kill. Eclipse will rotate back downstairs to try and clean it up. Oh, a beautiful flick shot in behind the server racks, but doesn't pick up the cover of Schlongy. It's only 2 left on site. Now 1 as Bio will be downed in behind the metal half wall. It's just Crusher alone to hold down the objective. Cutting off the rotates. Oh, and Schlongy can't even win that gunfight. Crusher in a 1v5. Walks into a frag grenade. Slash Hug holding AC window. It's a perfect round for Rogue.
Got pretty darn hairy. The grenade bounced around as Slash kind of heard the Valkyrie playing around the side. Now, you mentioned Achieved. I think to highlight even more, even if we didn't see it here, throwables in general, C4s, grenades, whatever, anything that you could proverbially yeet.
Yeet?
He yeeted. He yeets at the other side. This is all your fault.
My fault?
Yeah, no.
I didn't even say it first. I told you what I liked calling air jabs, like when we had lunch, but I did not say this first. It is not my fault.
Yes, I have been tainted.
The yeeter.
The mark of chaos.
I love calling them yeeters. It's great. It's so simple, too.
Yep. Yubi, can we officially rename it? Thank you very much. I think we have to.
I want residuals for that. I came up with that name. I want it. 3 Nitro Cells again for EXG. They like their cells. Some Nitro Cells.
Well, they actually have to use them from below, though. That's the problem. And but before you can do that, you kind of have to lock in Rogue in a certain position where you can, you know, throw the C4s on top of them and find something off of it. They've had the utility. It's just, it's a shame that Eclipse on his own was just able to shut down anybody that's downstairs. I mean, it wasn't really on his own. He had the Jackal as well to help him. He had the drones as well to give him information. So it was a team effort. But if you look at it at the surface, there wasn't really a ton invested to be able to get so much out of it.
I like the redundancy from Rogue's lineup as well. With Eclipse spawning all the way on the far west side of the map, he has to make a full map rotation to get over to the office trip wall, to do the stun lock, to get Thomas out of his position on the bandit trick. But you still have Shuttle on the Thatcher and Slash Hug on the Buck bring frag grenades to still complete the task should Eclipse have some kind of issue or malfeasance later on in the round, or earlier on in the round, sorry. They can still get rid of Thomas. I like the redundancies from Rogue, because that's been an issue we've seen earlier on today with teams bringing 1 operator to bring 1 objective, and here comes Achieved on a run out. He'll grab Eclipse, so there goes the Zofia, but they have that redundancy in place, and that's a Nitro Cell taken care of within a minute for Rogue.
Yeah, and not just the Nitro Cell, but the Pulse. That's a pretty huge pick. On top of that as well, the fact that it's Achieved, and someone that's been usually filling a pretty big role for the team. Grenade's going to get yeeted across. C4 being thrown up, but will not connect with Slash. Unfortunately, at least for the defense here, the wall is being open and... What? Okay, he's spotted on the side of the eye. As an optometrist, I fear I must have... I must tell you to visit your local doctor, please. Thank you very much. Grenade's going to get lobbed. Oh, no, the idiot's right next to you!
Somehow the first one detonates, but the ADS still survives, and now pressuring right up against the radio desk window is Schlongy, waiting for this peek, and it's easily holding the diffuser, awaiting a peek up top. So it's a 3-way triangle, but pressing the window. Schlongy will drop easily. No more breach left, but none real necessary. Slash with an immediate trade, and Schlongy right back onto Slash. 2v3 for Vert and Shuttle in this round, and not going as swiftly as last time, as less than 60 seconds tick down to a pixel angle. Not a single bullet connects onto Crusher there. Unfortunate for Shuttle, and now the Jackal pings will spot out Schlongy, but bad engagement there for Shuttle, and now it's down to the 2v2. Bio and Crusher having the utility advantage to stall this out. 40 seconds for Rogue, for Vert and Shuttle to push their way through. With no breach up against the Archives wall, they have to push a doorway.
30 seconds on the clock. They should have some utility to use here. There's smokes. that are available for vertical and can use Inox to spot normal players, but it would make a lot of sense if Crusher and Bio just never actually entered this position. They'll have to worry about the smoke first, but this is so smart. Shuttle, low on HP, is actually going to hold off the rotations. The smoke's going to get used, and Shuttle will find the kill on Crusher. And now, oh no, vertical, he'll walk right into Bio, low on HP, shotgun in hand, and Shuttle will clutch it. Well done by Rogue. And it got so close, everything in the way of EXG. Schlongi did so much work earlier on in the round, but realizing that he has the advantage of the distance, Shuttle finds the kill. So tunnel visioned in that position.
The forethought in a high-pressure moment like that from Shuttle to, instead of sprint through the door at the diffuser that was lost that he needed.
That he had only a few seconds to retrieve.
To go to the tiny little bullet hole on the side of the wall to get the peek, knowing two things. Number one, Bio was going to whip out a shotgun point blank, and if he tried to turn the corner inside of Archives, he was a goner. And literally, 4 seconds left, 5 seconds left on the clock, and he has the wherewithal to notice that engagement, clock it, and make the smartest possible decision. No, Bio is also going to go prone immediately after he sees him rushing to the back of the racks.
Yeah.
Beautiful play there from Shuttle, man. It's the little things today. It's the little things. Beautiful play from Shuttle.
As I said, it really is about just how you deal and how you use that slither of information that you have. And again, there's a reason why Rogue picked up Shuttle the instant they could. I mean, remember Atlantic City? Oh, he's just here for a replacement. And then he literally
seen that before.
Puts the team on his back. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, we need this guy.
Well,
this is, honestly, seeing all of this, I really hope that everybody watching at home understands the level of frustration we and all the Rogue fans had at home.
At Invite.
At Invite, because it's just, it was so
such a good team.
This is, man.
And there were a lot of rumors out there. No clue if they were true or not, but a lot of rumors saying that maybe Rogue wanted to make a change. And it's hard to hear that as well if you're a fan of them, given the talent on this roster.
Yeah.
Bit of a slow start in the beginning of the season for them. Like you said, poor showing it. Oh, okay,
no.
Okay, we're going to ignore that that happened, and everything else we talked about at Rogue still holds true.
So you saw the pickup. This is the second time we see it today. 20 HP on the pickup if you're in DBNO state.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is kind of overusing it, but or overdoing it, but still. Tomas just spraying down in the back with the UMP. He's going to get spotted. They know there's a player by the half wall. If the Zofia were to use his utility correctly, just lock him down and get a kill off of it.
Well, I said, oh my, Shuttle almost hit him with an EMP, which would have dropped him to 10. It just would have been a nightmare for easily getting team damage from left and right, but... Oh, man! The timing! You gotta be kidding me! At least the castle barricade gets opened up at the end of the day, but Eclipse blasted into the stratosphere, achieved finally having some dominance with that Nitro Cell. And after a round, it looked like it was supposed to be in the hands of them last time, although Slash will have something to say about that momentarily. Oh, and Schlongi caught out of position again atop metal. So Rogue turning the tables and the tide of fortune once again. Another engagement that looks like it should go the way of EXG, back in the favor of Rogue, and a round that was almost lost is turning back into their favor swiftly.
Nitro Cell in hand, but no, there's no information to play off of it. Achieved. Nowhere near to give the information with his heartbeat sensor. He'll spot one player moving around here. Crusher, but can't find the angle through the top of the floor onto them. 30 seconds on the clock. 4 players alive from Rogue, but they're so low on HP. Look at Slash, it easily did so much work, but they're barely alive between life and death. Sprayed to the edge, vertical. Free kill here for Achieved. They'll fall back. That's one high HP player. When the utility down, Slash with refrag on a Crusher. Last alive is Achieved. No Nitro Cell in hand. Should be able to rotate down. There we go. He's got the hatch. He's got it all. But Slash, what a shot from below. Achieved to go down. Oh my God.
What? I'm sorry. Who wanted to break up this band? Come on now. These are miraculous engagements coming out from Rogue. I mean, that one mishap. The one detractor you could say for them, but come on, man. That was a sight of beauty right there to pull that round back. They were stalling. One push in from Slash. It's an entirely different round. Come on, every single person on this roster has that ability too, man. Don't break up this band, please. For the love of North American pride, don't break up this band.
I think a sentence or a couple sentences to quote are, I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I want to see you out that door, baby, bye, bye, bye. That is not something that can say in this position, unfortunately. Yeah, that's... Oh, I believe... So, our wonderful friend and technically, I guess, Stuart just told us when you yeet, when, you know, you throw something, but it's like you have to actually, like, put in the grammar. So, what we say in French is conjugaison. I don't know exactly how it is in...
Yeah, conjugation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Words...
Literally the same letters, just different pronunciation.
Yes. So, the correct term is yote.
Instead of yeeted.
Yeeted, yes.
You have yote something.
Yes.
Or it has been yote.
It has been yoted.
It has been yote. Anyway, back to the round. Thanks, Stuart.
It is part of the round, so...
For sure.
Stuart, as usual, being our right-hand man.
It's a 3-0 lead for Rogue. And the operator lineup coming out from EXG has not seen much of an alteration, if any, round to round. They're going to try Vent Workshop once again after being unsuccessful twice in a row upstairs in Armory Lockers, and then unsuccessful once downstairs. And 2 of those 3 rounds looked like they should have gone the way of EXG if you only looked at the first minute.
One thing I want to highlight is Eclipse is now shooting at the specific break room wall. That is a lot of times reinforced. I haven't seen that at all today. So I'm kind of surprised. That's the break room wall into the hallway 90. Now, Achieved is playing solo below. I don't know if those are pre-opened by the defense or maybe... No. This was opened by the Zofia. She had, like, both of her lifelines used, the impacts. So there you go. Thermite already opened up a side of the wall, but it's not big enough. It will allow you to open the second side if you like. I don't know if you want to really use up all of that utility. Nitro Cell from Crusher will hit vertical and take down the Jackal. So now at least you don't have to worry about those smokes.
Well, that's 1 Nitro Cell gone. You still got 2 left if you're EXG, and again, it's a good start. You got Shuttle on low HP. Eclipse is taking a shot. Vert is off the board, and you're still full HP 5 wide for EXG. So it's a good start once again, but we've said this in back-to-back rounds for Accelerate. Oh, and here comes Slash on the push once again. There goes Crusher, already grabbing a kill with the Nitro Cell, though, and the cams are already deployed, so you've only lost a body in the MPX. We level at 4v4, and the health advantage and the utility advantage still on the side of EXG.
Oh, so close.
Oh, with that Sloggy! God damn it! I mean, he wasn't getting that back, but... another bot.
I mean, he could have shot the side of it, you know, because the...
No, it would have fallen onto the top
You
lip.
could try! Just shoot your own C4.
Just get rid of it. Just commit. It's like all those failed Valkyrie cameras that got stuck on wooden barricades. Just get rid of them. And Achieved is going to get rid of Slash Hug, stopping that aggressive push in with 27 seconds left. And now it's Rogue readdressing their attention towards a sight push, but easily taking a lot of damage and not paying attention really to Bio. And Schlong, you'll finally win out on a peak against Eclipse. It's 2v4 for Shuttle and easily to work out of. No time remaining. Bio decapitates easily. Shuttle left alone. Ringing shots off the side, and we'll finally finish off with a pre-fire onto Bio, but Diffuser lost at the front door. Shuttle's baiting for picks to pat the stats. EXG will finally get one back on the board as Thomas cleans it up. And we need to rehost.
We're waiting on our admin decision here, and then we'll go for the rehost as AG and Rogue both had to learn it. You have to wait for that. So when the observer types it in, it means that the head admin had okayed it, and that's where you could do it. So hopefully it's not something major, and we can get back into the game ASAP. So far you look at this, Flynn, and you're like,
What am I looking at? The game? I mean, you were writing something. I thought you wanted me to look at something in the notebook.
No.
No? All right, the game.
I don't want you to see what I'm drawing.
EXG finally gets a round that they start well. They start round 2 and round 3 well, and they don't get them back.
We've noticed this every single time when they're playing on the defense. There's a lot of effort being put into utility play and C4 play specifically, right?
Yeah.
They're always running a pulse. They're always running 2 extra C4s with the Bandit and the Valkyrie to run alongside him. And more often than not, the pulse is the operator that uses that C4 at the end. Always trying to utilize, actually push his teammates into doing it. They'll find picks, but outside of that final round, the 3 before that, their picks didn't really actually turn into much at the end of it. And I fear for EXG that Rogue are just going to be able to pick things up off of pure momentum.
And that's what we've seen in, like I said, round 2, round 3. You start at the round quite poor if you're Rogue. You lose Eclipse and a lot of health on, I believe it was Shuttle, in round number 2. And you're down in a 3v5. It comes down to a 3v2 in the favor of EXG with 30 seconds left. And it comes down to that 1v1 and that miraculous play by Shuttle. And then it carries over again. You have that Nitrocell pick from Crusher early on. Or I think it was actually achieved in round 3. But you have that early Nitrocell pick. And then Slashug says, I don't really care. I'm just going to push through and start massacring everyone.
Yeah.
And that momentum wave again for Rogue carries them through in a round that looked like, man, they should not have had it if you only look at that first minute. And the stall factor as well. Like, it seems like Rogue right now have this ability that they didn't really have in any of their games at SI, which is if they want to flip a switch and go, they've got it. They got fuel in the tank and they're just going to go. They didn't have that kind of dominance in a round at SI in any of their games, in any of their maps. It was always very back and forth and very timid. This is the Rogue we all expect to see, which is, man, if they decide screw momentum, screw stall, if we just need to go, they're going as fast as humanly possible right now, and it's beautiful to see.
I think it's to highlight that Super made.
Just play like G2. Just play like G2.
Pengu would have done this in this situation. Yeah, there are times where there's some real Reddit gold out there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice nuggets.
I mean, you guys have some memes. I'll say that much. You guys have some memes.
Yeah, some of them are really boring and just end up bashing people. But otherwise, I think meme weekends
there's some pretty good ones, too.
Yeah. I think there's just people that are pretty salty. All these flavors, and you chose salt. But, you know, look at it this way. Rogue are kind of in control right now. They have the momentum. Yep. When they played SSG on here, however, they got 5 rounds in attack and then 1 on defense. So I'm kind of trying to hold myself back to not get too much ahead of myself. Mm-hmm. Just in case we get a repeat of that situation.
True. I mean, like we said, Rogue have been susceptible to scenarios in which teams run it back on them. And whether it's EG only coming back from a 2-0 deficit, 1 round that wasn't even played, and running 6 in a row, Rogue grabs 1 back, and then they finally put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think we have something. They caught another thing on the board.
All right, let's see. From left and right, but oh man, the timing! You gotta be kidding me! At least the I love this.
We're having too much fun with this.
Oh, we're having way too much fun, but isn't that part
How
of the job?
dare you have fun when you're on the job? Clock in, clock out like everybody else. With the day,
I mean, with our hours,
we
deserve to have some fun.
We've been here since 9 p.m. Well, 9:30 p.m. So we've been around for a while.
In a minute,
I can live here at this point.
We could. There's a lot of space back there. Or
There's
under
a lot
the
of
desk.
food.
We could just live under the desk.
Yeah, kicks can fit on there here pretty easily, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head into game. I believe we've checked stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody's ready. EXG Rogue. Nomad Band, which is nice.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about bands. We were more focused on Rogue's performance recently on Border.
I hope they were, a bit more focused on that performance on Border, or performance in general. But
yeah, performance in general. But bathroom tellers, really? All right. EXG just kind of giving up on Armory Lockers, and I mean, if you lose the back-to-backs, the first round, I understand. The second one, like that looked like a round that you could have won if you're EXG. I feel like you've got a pretty good chance going back. especially when you know what Rogue are going to do. You got aggressive and started making some changes, and it really looked like it was picking apart some of what Rogue were bringing. Again, they just had that moment in the round where they said, yeah, screw this, we're winning the round.
Yeah.
And EXG just kind of fell victim to it. So they'll go to Bathroom Tellers as an interesting...
this is one of my favorite Val camps.
Oh, up top on the wall outside.
Yeah, there's a better position a bit more to the left side of where the Valkyrie actually threw it up. But there's one that is so good. I think if you look back at the Penta days at Gamescom, back when Pengu used to do a lot of these rotations from the roof down to ventilation, which, by the way, actually works. Like, it's been working for 2 months, just nobody actually uses it. Very few people know about it now for some odd reason. But still, it's a Valkyrie camera that can definitely use to shut down players in the early game, but also very difficult to deal with in the spot, especially if you're running an IQ like at this position. Easily taking a lot of damage on the Thermite early on, not too great. But at least the Jackal pushing away the player that he was able to pick up, and I'm actually not sure which operator was picked up by the Sheka.
Well, I'm also super confused by the setup here for Excelerate. Typically, if you're playing Bathroom Tellers, you've got at least a little bit of pressure and maybe some reinforcements over by the armory wall to try and stall this out as their initial ingress, and then as they push towards office, you've got it more cordoned off, but they lost 2 of the castle barricades. Never mind, it's Nitro Cells from below. That is literally EXG's game. Thomas will tack on, taking down Vertical, and quickly with that immediate map control Rogue garnered, it was all a trap, and EXG will blast them into smithereens with those Nitro Cells.
It's time for that extra gunpowder early on, that's for sure. Done. Clips in. He's trying to use his Guzmots to slow things down from the defenders. As, you know, losing 2 players early on is not great, and easily low on HP. In a bit of a difficult situation. The thing with this site is that you really want to have extra manpower. Oh, man. Shuttle!
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Oh!
Ah! They can't even get the second one.
This is literally so frustrating. There you go. Eclipse, nicely done. He'll find 1 kill. That's a Chief down. Shuttle trying to find the shot on the back, but that's Bio to take down easily. 2 versus the 4, and Thomas just pumping in and out. Bio will find a kill. And Eclipse, last man alive, will find a kill on Crusher, but it's a 3v1 with the Zofia having no utility except for the Claymore available. They know that there's a player all the way in the back on the main site. It's probably Bio if it's down there. I'm not sure if it's Schlongy, though. Nitro Cell available. Should be. And a lot of smokes. That should slow down Eclipse. And remember, that diffuser is on the top floor. He'll have to hunt for the frags. He'll find the bandit. Great shot from Eclipse, but Tomas, the top floor. All the holes were pre-open to allow him to do this one exact play. There you go. Shot himself in the foot, I guess, but it's a sacrifice you're willing to make.
That really seemed like a lack of droning there from Rogue. Really seemed like they were just completely unaware of where Excelerate were throughout the map, what the setup was. I mean, at this point in the map, you should know they're running the Nitro Cells down below. Yeah. But also not knowing that Bio was playing in behind radio desk inside of office. You know, you lose 2 players to him in a position that he hadn't moved from in 2 minutes. He's playing the same spot over and over, and that's where your smoke should play if you're trying to hold off offices for your Bathroom Tellers hold. Yeah, it looked like Rogue were just kind of skipping some steps on that round, taking for granted that they could win their gunfights being surprised rather than walking in with pre-advanced knowledge. So it seemed like Rogue just getting a little overconfident on that round. I really hope that doesn't trend for them and continue on, because like we said a couple times now, Rogue have had some unfortunate comebacks against them on border. They started off hot, and they started looking like their 1v1s and their individual mechanical skill was carrying them far, but if EXG starts stacking up on one another instead of playing so separated like they have been, it's going to turn into a bit of a nightmare scenario for Rogue.
Clash play is definitely going to be a fun one. Crusher going up, and he'll set up his Black Eye. Just wanted to make sure that nobody spawned in position to take him out early on if he wanted to go for that run. It's a bit late on the setup for the camera, but there you go. The Clash of Bio is going to be very sweet to see, because you've seen, if you go back to Invitational, even before that, there's a team to highlight playing this sort of strategy. It's Penta. Penta played the Clash fairly effectively in this position. they've played actually relatively consistently. So it's definitely something to learn from. And Clash no longer has the muzzle brake for SPSMG.
No.
But that doesn't mean that it's not a great weapon to use, first of all. Number two, if you're using Clash to just get frags, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion at least. My not so humble opinion. Just because the operator is supposed to be that shield, just like Monty's, in front of everybody, gathering information, blocking people. It's crowd control at its finest. And the SPSMG is just your fallback in case it's required.
It all is stacking here from Roga towards the armory walls. That's the objective they identified again. And shots coming through that soft wall. Ooh, not even a soft wall. It's a frag grenade will shove Thomas off of his perched position up against the armory wall. But again, Rogue, no confusion about where they would like to push right about now. Is Thomas still swapping out batteries, and he'll pull one off the wall, debate easily in, and go right back for it to take out the exothermic charge. Oh, but he's being stun locked by the Zofia of Eclipse, and the wall will finally get opened up, and he's got nowhere to go but stick on the wall.
Why isn't the buck downstairs? This could have all been avoided so easily. Oh no! Thomas runs right in the line of fire.
Read like a book.
Oh man, Crusher will find one at least on vertical, but it's not a great loss at this point for Rogue. And you know, were the Zofia to get in a better position, she already used her stun grenades, which, you know, you spot the Clash, you're like, let's just not use the stuns. Oh, Slash somehow surviving through the C4, allowing him at least stay alive for a bit. Oh no, easily. Still finds one on Schlongi. Back with a half wall, but no, it's another one dropped as well. Easily's low on HP and can get dropped pretty easily here by the Clash. Bio will find one in a second. What a flick on Easily. Eclipse with a frag unachieved, at least that. 2 versus 1, but he's got no utility for it. They'll try to fight against him one by one, but he's gonna use it. He'll pop one. Bio's already down. 1v1 and Crusher's low on health. Trying to push around the corner, pre-fire, but he's not in there. He ran away to the opposite end. They're both on the equal amounts of HP, but Crusher with a deagle. He finds the kill. EXG to put back the 6th round on the board to make it 3-3. Oh baby, what a round.
A seesaw of never-ending, tumultuous action on both sides. And it somehow comes out with EXG bringing 3 rounds in a row back in their favor. Oh, what a round. It was a technical 2v4 to work out of for Rogue with 2 players down, and Bio with a nasty shot with that SMG-9. And then Eclipse on the flank, blasting Bio into Neverland with the impact on the lifeline, coming down to a 1v1 pistol v pistol. Whew! You want a round for the books right there. That's one. We've had a few today. I think that's got to be one of the better rounds of the day, honestly.
And we had quite a few good rounds. That's the thing. If anything, today has been one of our most exciting play days so far. And I think a big thing about that is the hype and emotion that teams kind of get into after an event like Invitational. It really draws people to want to compete at that top level. And to get there, you have to go through online phase. That's pretty much it. So I'm hopeful to see some more. Both teams are giving it their all, and at the half, we sit at an even 3-3 between the two. Oh man. Now, on the defense of Rogue, and you saw some pretty interesting rotation holes that they were playing from Fountain into Office, which is not a usual thing though. So I wonder if CCTV is taken, how quickly EXG will be able to kind of exploit that sort of open. You see, there's nobody in there. They reinforced one side, but then Fountain is completely open for business. Like, what?
It looked like it was Eclipse in there who had to make a great escape as the backside of his wall was bucked open by Achieved. So, also just good to mention, Achieved very strong with nitro cells, probably rivaling BC in the frag grenade
100%
department. Honestly, it's another one of those situations. So more stuns coming out, and a nitro cell will not connect on anyone, but the trip wall will get opened up, and Shuttle stunned beyond belief. We'll have to descend into the depths of Fountain and behind soft walls this time instead of reinforcements, and he'll back off. Bird also playing Radio Desk as the ACOG dock, something we didn't see on the side of Accelerate, but maybe gives him a better chance to stand and fight. Slashug will fall in his initial engagement on the defensive side, and a frag grenade coming right in, and Vert will take it like a champ, and he'll down off Achieve, but trying to evade the second frag grenade. Crusher will clean him up with a headshot, evacuating back to site his shuttle into the depths of Archives. The diffuser is recovered, and now Achieved, brought back to life, but with only 20 HP, a more difficult scenario to work out of, and the man disadvantage for Rogue.
Paging Dr. Kateb, please, we require you to pick up the rest of the team. Nah, the double grenade was pretty sweet. Vertical played it well, and he boosted himself at the perfect moment. But unfortunately, there was just so much firepower headed towards him, and there wasn't really much that he could do to survive the location, especially the fact that they had lost an extra bit of manpower. It would have been perfect. Oh, so close. Bio with the pre-fire. Just smoke being used up here on the opposite end by easily. So much HP left on Rogue, and they even have, well, no none themselves actually. Does Eclipse have one? Check that real fast. Oh no, the wall's being opened. A freebie on the buck. Shuttle will find it. 3v3. Shuttle continues to find more. Eclipse with a frag on a Schlongi. One spotted up close, but Shuttle can't find the head. Crusher and Bio, last two alive from the 3v4 to the 2v1 now. Easily. Running back, playing for time. Eclipse for the last. Crusher down, and Rogue. When round number 7, put that 4th round on the board. Every single one of our matches, well, the 2 that we had before, have gone the distance. And I don't want to say I fear, I anticipate that this one will go to it as well.
You're casting with me, man. It's all but inevitable. But hey, Rogue stopped the bleeding. Let's just say that much. Rogue go up 3-0. They drop the next 3 consecutively, and they bring one back on their first defensive round. It's not bad. My biggest question is, will this just be the one round Rogue gets in the second half, and will it continue to be a sweep for EXG, as is so common with them for Border this season? Or is this, you know, the turning point for them? Is this the catalyst for them on Border the season where things start to change? People don't just run up scores against them on Border after they start hot. Is this where we see Rogue finally put their foot down, kind of continue some of that FU mentality from the first half of the game, which was, we're winning this, we're winning it now, we don't care what you think?
I mean, it kind of is a mentality that you need to have, right?
Yeah.
Or else you end up in situations where teams have so much respect to the others that it kind of borders on fear, and that's not a spot you want to be in. If you already have that, I mean, some people might say that it's not a defeatist mindset, but I beg to differ. It is to some extent, and once you have that in your brain, it just starts gnawing at you, and it will really weigh you down. You really just have to kind of dispel it. And so EXG are definitely doing a pretty good job of that. But I like the setup for Rogue overall on the ground here. Having Vertical and Eclipse that can just maneuver around the round and focus on the 2 players that have some of the highest levels of fragging potential in North America is great. However, tons of damage done to Vertical early on, which doesn't really signal too many good things for Rogue early on in the round.
Vert was droned out, prone on the ground. If a Chief peeks that hole he makes with the Skeleton Key faster, Vert's a dead man. But instead, he escapes with a little over half HP, and he'll make it back to the half wall. Sorry, inside of hallway towards top metal now. Flashbangs will ring out and actually fully blind Eclipse in behind the half wall inside of sight. The Thermite charge coming out, and no one to stop it as there's no utility to do so. And it's a quick opening and a quick start here for EXG, but the site is still downstairs, and they have yet to dispatch of really anyone roaming topside.
Oh!
Never mind.
Oh, okay. So Eclipse is going to find the kill on Crusher. All right. Well done. Slash in the meantime. Just getting so much information back. Yokai drones have been preset, and that's the alibi in half wall. If somebody were to play in there, it would really harm you. This is the thing. She's deceptive. Now, Schlong is going to be able to take out one of those Prismas in the back in Archives, but it's not going to be enough so far. He just opens up an extra wall. Thomas will find a kill on Eclipse, but the diffuser's not been brought in to be set just yet. Thomas holding it in hand. Shuttle now. Shotgun up in his hand, and he pushes up towards him. Wasn't expecting it. Bio will go down. Yeah, well done here to take down Thatcher. Schlongy low on HP. He's been doing so much work for the team, but on and off. No, he's on for this one. Hits it. Vertical is down and taken away. C4 thrown into the back, but will not connect with anyone. Schlongy, though, is on the floor, and is he? Yeah, there we go. He's being brought back up, but easily will get one kill and a refrag from Achieved. You lost the Echo. This is not great now. The push needs to happen on the site, and it's a 2v2 Achieved and Thomas. Trying to play with whatever time they still have on the clock.
Highly recommend Slashug take that peek over anyone instead of Easily and Shuttle. But it leaves him in a 2v2 with 20 seconds left, looking up to these kill holes, and Shuttle will sacrifice his life for no reason, leaving Slash alone. 1v2, Thomas and Achieve both booking it for the CCTV hatch. Sorry, the security rack hatch, and he's going to grab one, downs him off. Achieve with the diffuser, has to go for a full 7-second plant, and instead, there's no time left. He's going to stick it right in the middle of the server rack, underneath the hatch. There's no one to cover. Slashug will clean it up in a beautifully executed 1v2, and Rogue put another one up. They extend their lead again to a 5-3. Dangerous peak almost costs Rogue the round from Shuttle, but Slash with a beautiful play, and really just no time left for the remaining members of EXG to salvage that plant attempt.
Man. Well done by Rogue. I mean, EXG had so much to play off of, and overall, they have the ability to do it. And it's just, Rogue were able to pick them off one by one, and I want to say this, it's the experience of the individual players on Rogue that's kind of giving that sort of push that they require. Vertical, oddly enough, has zero kills after the rehost, right? So, Eclipse with 9 after rehost as well. So he's sitting pretty, to say the least.
We rehosted after 3-1? I believe so.
I don't keep track of the rehosts, but yeah, something like that. 3 or 4 rounds.
Yep.
That was good.
So, impressive nonetheless.
What? Wait.
Yeah, we hosted at 3-1.
What?
What?
He threw an impact at the floor there, and it didn't do anything.
It just didn't.
It literally did nothing. But the Bailiff is doing the work. What?
Hey guys.
I think we found one.
Yeah. Maybe we found one. Well, EXG going to start their push in from top east stairs, and they're going to watch that Prisma fully unfold from Slashug. So Thomas not going to be fooled, and he'll relay the information to the rest of the team as they try to push their way over it again. Another Prisma spotted out as Slash is playing behind half wall, and there's the third. So all 3 Prismas established early on by the droning, so Alibi's utility might be able to shift positions if Slash can get in position to recover it and change its position and try and be a confusing factor, or maybe even stand dead still in one. But there goes Vertical, getting his first one after the rehost onto Achieve, and that's a huge influential pick on the side of Rogue, trying to at least guarantee themselves a point already. That'd be the earliest we've seen a team guarantee themselves a point tonight.
Oh, easily. So close to getting killed, but he lost one of his yokais. I'm not sure if there's a second one available. Crusher will find the kill on Eclipse, but a pre-fire from Easily, but he won't find anyone. Slash, on the other hand, will get one Crusher down. That's your only Heart Breach available. No longer. Thomas with a quick peek around the corner, and 90 Easily will get shot down. 3v3, and you lost the yokai. Why is the Echo playing on those stairs at that point in time? That is the question that we should all be asking, ladies and gentlemen. But is there any more utility? There you go. Drone's going to get taken down. Slash will put himself in jail. And Vertical still control the armor. He's got a Nitro Cell in hand to use later on, but also one in the hands of the Bandit, in case they do end up requiring it. I think the hatch being watched and Vertical still in, and you know, I'm on the MPX. Maybe I don't want to really peek against any of these. The Bailiff has no more shots in them, and you wish you had any, just so open up a hatch and allow Vertical drop down.
Time ticking away again as EXG look to establish themselves above some hatches currently, and coming to blows now. Vertical, and Thomas, wins it out onto a beautiful shot even after hitting the Prisma, and it looks like Shuttle will try and engage through the floor once again. And last time he left his partner Slashug in a very precarious spot, dropping to the hatch and evading all the shots now, but Shuttle with the cover from the long desk, playing it safer this time. Diffuser surrendered inside the objective, and a 2v2 for Slash and Shuttle now. as they work their way. One inside of the objective, one still playing long deaths, but no progression here from EXG. No time, they're going to have to send it down the main stairs, cut off once again by Shuttle. It's Bio alone in a 1v2, twisting inside of the small office, nowhere to go. Shuttle with a 3-piece, and Rogue will guarantee themselves a point, trying to push themselves for all 3 now. We'll have 3 chances at it.
I think at this point we can describe Rogue as being the Lustream of NA. You can interpret that in any way, shape, or form that you would like. I will leave it at that.
I mean, they also went out 0-2 at SI.
I remember this was hilarious. Actually, we were sitting down after the last day of group stage.
Yeah,
and that was literally like the 5 minutes I got to sit down with everyone and say something. I remember I had like gotten back from the gym at the hotel, went up to the bar to say hello to everyone, and then literally, it's like I think it was Alphama, and it's Uno and Easley. They just look at one another, and they're like, "Yo, we both got knocked out." It was hilarious.
I saw that actually.
Yeah,
I think I remember seeing.
Yeah, you were on the other table actually, right next to it, and Easley's like, did you guys get a game? Did you guys get a map? They're like, no, we didn't even get one map. They're like, yo, we got one.
Yeah, we got one. It's the Mortals.
At that point, there's I mean, what do you do?
It's the small victories, right?
Yeah.
Well, small victories indeed so far for Rogue. They at least guarantee themselves 1 point in the standings, and considering they were in 4th place. And you see Reciprocity and Dark Zero tie. EG don't get any points for their non-existent game tonight. If you're Rogue, you're eyeing 3 points as a possibility to jump up in the standings, especially after SSG just grabbed 3 points in their win against Rise. You're feeling pretty good right now if you're Rogue in the standings, and we said that middle portion of the NA standings was very unlikely to make it to land at the standing point, and we're still in that scenario, but Vert's going to start things off onto Thomas as well. Very hot start now for Rogue as they try to shut things down early in only 10 rounds instead of the 12 we've been seeing in every game so far tonight.
Still achieved. Oh no, the C4! He runs away at the perfect moment. That was a yote if I've ever seen one. Eclipse still in and no Nitro Cell to use. Easily will open up the hatch to allow him to rotate down if need be. If they do get pressure later on. Schlongi with a lot of damage done to Shuttle with the Zofia, but just still not enough to drop his opponent. And Crusher needs to come in. You need to have some sort of control of the office at this point unless you're eyeing the armory. Now, we already have control of it. You already opened up the side. But there's these footholds that have already been opened by your opponents, and the grenades need to connect, but Eclipse just finds 2 kills on the east stairs. Nobody's watching the flank, and another one, Eclipse! Oh man, diffusers on the floor, EXG falling apart. And yeah, this is what happens when you stop accelerating. You hit a brick wall, and at the other end of it is Rogue, vertical with one at the end. That's 2 for him in the round, 3 for our beautiful Valkyrie play there, and that's Rogue to take it 7-3. And Rogue, absolutely no problems at all in securing the victory for today. Excelerate gave them their all with the C4 play from below, but Rogue were just too good.
Wow. So like I said, Rogue come in to the day with 4th place. Pretty solid in hand. The only team that wasn't those top 3 juggernauts that we were talking about with double digits points. They pick up another 3. They're closing that gap. It's turning it into a bit of I guess a 2-way race for first place right now. And then you've got a 3-way race kind of for second place.
I mean, it's not over yet for Rogue, right?
No.
They get extra points. I believe they're at 13 now. We'll
13 now, yeah.
at the end. But yes, very true. So yeah, they're not too far away. And as you mentioned, EG are not playing this week. They're playing next week. That's also something to keep in mind. Yeah, it actually is very possible that things will change at the top, because if you look at next week's game, Rogue plays Dark Zero, EXG plays Reciprocity, and SSG plays EG. In all 3 matches, first of all, Rogue Dark Zero is pretty big barn burner.
Yep. SSG, EG.
SSG, EG, that can flow one way or another. Although EG wouldn't really want us to say that.
No.
And then Reciprocity, EXG, the way Reciprocity play usually against how EXG were here, Reciprocity, in my opinion, would have no problem shutting them down. That sort of like spread out play on defense doesn't work against Reciprocity. They're pretty good at dealing with that.
And it is still interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
I said
everyone's still in it.
I said it at the beginning of the season. End of season 8 and season 9 specifically have been my favorite seasons to watch North American Pro League. Just because every single team is out for blood. They all want to go to LAN. They all want to prove that they have something, and each one has their own storyline as well to look through.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic, and for North American fans, you know, it comes and goes when it comes to LAN events, but for online play, at least within the same region, or we saw with US Nationals, it's pretty cool. Okay, we have an interview. Let's pull that up on the board, and I wonder which face we're gonna have on the opposite end. And oh,
big shock!
It's Ranger. Evening, Tristan. How are you? We can't hear him.
Good.
Guys.
How are you guys?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry
now we can hear
that.
you.
We're up. We're live.
Yeah. So you are alive as well. I mean, look, Tristan, we can't hide behind our hands at this point and say that Invitational was a great time for Rogue, right? It wasn't, unfortunately, but you came back in here and you kind of needed that refresher, right, to put the whole team in order. And it shows in the gameplay today against EXG, though. Even with the way that you guys were playing, it was a bit difficult to deal with the C4 play from the bottom that EXG have kind of brewed their own name about. And in your opinion, what's one of the best and more effective ways to try and deal with that sort of play that EXG kind of put on the board?
I mean, EXG did a really good job with the C4s. Like, there's like 3 rounds in a row where they got multiple C4 kills.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing with C4ing from under is it can just be kind of inconsistent because you have people moving around. So I don't want to say they got lucky because they didn't. It was really well executed defense by them. They protected the guys C4ing underneath. They played back on site so that they couldn't just lose the site instantly. So they did a good job with it. But my only thing about C4 defense like that is they can be a little inconsistent. But, I mean, you can see when they work, they work. Like, it doesn't matter if you were bringing glass, heavy smoke, stuff like that. The C4s underneath are still safe to, you know, let it rip on the people executing onto site. So they did a really good job with that defense. It took us a couple rounds from us. It took us by storm for a little bit there. But we brought it back on attack. Can't get C4'd, or we brought it back on defense. Can't get C4'd on defense.
Shh, don't say it.
That's what I told the team.
We said, oh, can't have shields on defense. And then, shh, don't. The Hornet's Nest, man. But speaking of shields on defense, Clash was brought out for a round, and she really was a pain to deal with. I mean, she's very good at the job of crowd control. A lot of people think of it of just, oh, they buffed the SPSMG, now we can actually use her to frag. And in my opinion, I don't think that's the way that you should be doing it. But from your experience in your own like testing and scrims and everything, does it make sense to look at her more of that role, or is she still in that position where, yeah, she's going to gather information, be the crowd control disruption, etc.?
I mean, Clash is obviously like a big-time info up, really hard to clear. She's just like a physical presence there. Our mistake was that we kind of mismanaged our utility with dealing with her in the wall. So we had 2 nades, 2 stuns, and so we just kind of mismanaged that, getting the wall open, so we didn't have enough left. Ultimately, we killed the Clash, and we lost track of where the last guy ran and lost the 1v1. So, you know, just it was a close round in the end. But yeah, Clash, obviously you saw Clash can be a nuisance, but she kind of has limiting factors too. She can be, if you have all the utility with you, she can be taken out really easily. If you have Capitao arrows, nades, Sophia stuns, all that kind of stuff, Thatcher to turn off her electric stun. Yeah. So obviously she can be dealt with. She kind of takes like you down a gun when you're using her, which is a limiting factor. But yeah, she can definitely be a nuisance in situations like what EXG showed.
Yeah, and you guys were even in positions where we thought it would have been unwinnable. You know, we talked about, I believe, Shuttle in the specific position he was playing, just rotating in and around. He had 1 extra player to play with him. It's 3v2. The round was pretty much over at that point. And I believe it was a Thatcher and the Jackal that were playing together in that situation. And then the ability to just use the small hole in the wall that had been pre-opened and soft wall by the defense turns around and with information given, deal with the smoke that's sitting barrel pointed at the exact location where he was expecting shuttle to come through. Now, in these sorts of clutch situations, you're all sitting together in the same room, and you can kind of hear what's going on in communication and see how all the players are reacting. How does that happen when it comes to the round itself and the communication itself? But I want to also focus on what happens after the round is done and how the momentum is and the atmosphere amongst the entire team once a sort of play like that happens.
I mean, when the round's happening, we're just feeding Shuttle all the intel we can, letting him know any information we can that'll help him win the round. Obviously, Shuttle's super calm under pressure, so he's been clutch time and time again for us on border, and he stepped up again today. So it's always great to have a player like that on the team. And then afterwards, good job and a few expletives, and we celebrate.
And that celebration carries over momentum for other rounds. A lot of people kind of just throw the word momentum out there and without really getting any proper context behind it or understanding how things go. And you guys are in a particular situation where everybody's staying in the same place together. So you can feed off of one another in these situations in ways that other teams cannot. How does that help you out for the games themselves, but also in preparation for LAN events where you have this sort of opportunity?
I mean, the big thing about being in a team apartment, the situation that we have, is we get a lot of really good practice time together. We can sit there, everyone's there in person, can be focused on stuff like that together. So I think that's the big thing. And then just in match, energy's really high. Everyone's getting hyped. Everyone can feel each other getting excited for each other when people are pulling off big plays. So it just keeps, vibes super positive throughout the round. Even, we drop a couple rounds, everyone's still, keeping life in each other. No one's getting down. So big things like that.
Pretty darn good. Maybe one day when you bring out the barbecue to the apartment as well, things will get even better, right, Tristan? But
if you're ever in Vegas, you're invited.
I'll take you up on that offer. But with that said, anything you'd like to say to the fans out there that understandably after Invitational were kind of looking for the redemption, and I think this one kind of sets you finally on the right track?
Yeah, obviously for us, Invitational was a big letdown. I think, with the USN victory, obviously we know we're a better team than that. So, the offseason, we kind of regrouped, said, look, this is our ceiling. We're better than this. This is an unacceptable result for us. And we made some changes to our roles and our practice environment. And I think it showed today, and I think it's only up from here. So, we're still in it for the season, at least in our minds. So, we're just going to do everything we can to win 6 more games and make it to Milan.
It's very true. You're not too far away, and we saw it in the previous season where still trying to bump up there, trying to go to Rio, and some people were saying, "Oh yeah, Rogue's out," but then kind of recovers and runs through. So definitely always a possibility. But Tristan, thank you very much. Congratulations again on your victory against EXG. We'll see you next week. I guess we have to verify the games because now it's only 3 instead of 4. But thank you very much for being here and for hopefully enjoying this play day after Invite. Good night.
Absolutely. Good night to you guys in Poland.